Welcome to the Poundcast. Today we have an incredible episode with Rick Glassman. And boy, we sure had fun with Rick. He is looking at us through the glass right over there. But today's show is brought to you by LVJco. Come on in here, Rick.
I gotta go.
Come on in. Today's show is brought to you by LVJco.com. What is LVJco.com? Louisville Vegan Jerky Company. No, Louisville Vegan Jerky Company, LVJco.com, is where you want to go to grab all these delicious flavors. And now, as we mentioned last week, there's a new flavor that's got my mouth watering. It's called Riff Raff's Orange Chicken. Food Court Orange Chicken, Brent. And Riff Raff the rapper, he's on the front cover of this thing. It's pretty exciting. Check this out. LVJco.com. Use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off your entire order. And they have all the original flavors up here. Maple bacon, smoked black pepper, smoky Carolina barbecue, ghost pepper and garlic, pizzeria supreme. The flavors go on and on. Okay, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, this stuff is bagged and made in the United States in Louisville, Kentucky. It has a shelf life of 9 months. And this is plant-based jerky. And it's the best snack money can buy. And especially when you get 20% off by using the code word Poundcast when you log in to LVJco. You don't have to log in. When you go to LVJco.com, use the code word Poundcast. You get it. Right, Brent?
Yes, thank you.
You understand.
Thank you.
Now, check this out. We have a... Look, all right? We're on Patreon. This show is brought to you by listeners like you. Patreon.com/Poundcast. Sign up today and support our show, because that's what keeps this show alive. This is listener-supported Poundcast. Patreon.com/Poundcast. Go there today. Sign up. Get the unzipped episodes. Every episode we do has a bonus section that we keep talking. And you know you want more. Patreon.com/Poundcast. We are on YouTube. This is being filmed as we speak. YouTube.com/ThePoundcast. We are on social media at The Poundcast. That's about it that I can think of. Anything else we got to mention, Bray?
If you are looking for something to do on New Year's Eve this year, I am doing a show at Angelico Hall, which is at Dominican University in San Rafael, California. That's in Marin County, if you're in the Bay Area. And also on the show, I think the show is, I don't know. Anyway, you could look it up. Lori Kilmartin is on the show, Mike Kaplan, Bobby Tessel, and Liz Grant. If you're looking for something to do on New Year's. Yeah.
And I am going back out on tour with Eric Andre in December. Boston, Philly, the list goes on. Seattle, Portland.
When?
Oakland in December.
Yeah,
Just go to ericandretour.com. And I'm going on a cruise with them.
Jeez.
In January. I think it's all on ericandretour.com. Check it out. I'm the opening act, and I'm doing all the fart sounds for Eric. Let's bring Rick out here and and get into it.
Okay.
Roll the clip. Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast. And we're back, as you can see on Rick's hat, which is your merch, correct? Oh, wow. You're not gonna say a word on the show?
I'll talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that would have been an interesting
That would have been
approach, though.
interesting
You know,
if you just nod
Yeah.
and
If you were just nodding and shaking your head, or maybe using your hands to,
It would be tougher
communicate.
for the audio only.
yeah.
it would be tougher, but not impossible.
So you do a podcast called "Take Your Shoes Off,"
Mm-hmm.
and but have you ever asked Brent to be on it? Because he
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do that.
You wouldn't take your shoes off? You would only wear booties? I thought we've talked about this.
I would like to wear booties.
Well, no.
Why?
2 reasons.
No.
One, it is, and maybe the biggest one, is the podcast is called Take Your Shoes Off. Now, I've done them on the road before in studios where, of course, we don't take our shoes off. Taking your shoes off in a public space is the opposite logic. Then you dirty your socks, and then when you go inside your house, your socks are dirty. But in my place, I have always had everybody take their shoes off with the exception of one person. Could you guess who it is? I'll give you a hint. It's my dad's mom.
Brent.
No, my grandma. And I've had my grandma, and she's been the only person that I allowed to have no shoes. Of course, I put towels down.
Why?
You allowed her to keep the shoes on?
I let her keep the shoes on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
It's hard for her to take them on and off, and she wanted it that way. And I really had to sell her to even do the podcast. And again, I put towels down, and it's kind of like, you know what? You have to earn the shoes on. And I mean this with no respect. You haven't.
What about booties? Why not booties?
You know, it's actually funny that you say that because in that episode, I had a couple of girls who came into the podcast to get drinks. And they had some nice booties.
So what's wrong with me wearing booties? Why is that not acceptable?
So if somebody comes into my place, let's say the HVAC guy,
Okay.
say it,
The HVAC guy. Yeah.
I'll give him booties. But we're recording the podcast. People put their feet up. It's on my rug. It's also the theme of it. It's take your shoes off. And if you really can't do it, then maybe we'll put you out on the balcony.
Yeah, what if I have a medical condition?
What is it?
POTUS manlii?
You don't have that.
Yes, I do. POTUS manlii. Hypopotus manlii.
Hypopotus manlii.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know what it is, and I'm sure you know what it is, but the listeners might not know what that is. So could you explain it?
It's a condition that, well, it's private, actually.
Oh, then why'd you bring it up?
To give you a proper excuse to not take off my shoes.
Oh, you were trying to give me an excuse as opposed to try to let me feel seen? Isn't that what you want, to feel seen?
No, I mean, I don't want my feet to be seen.
Oh, we will blur. I've had people on, we've blurred their feet.
Blur their feet.
The whole episode, absolutely.
I don't want you to see my feet.
Understood. Maybe it's not the right podcast for you.
It might not be.
But if you want, I run a Patreon called Rick Glassman Nitro, where I recorded at a studio. You could leave your shoes on and come do that.
That's different?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nitro?
Nitro.
Why is it called Nitro?
Well, I was just making a podcast that didn't need to have a name. I was just doing like exclusive content for my Patreon. And I just said, just Nitro is big right now. There's Nitro Coffee. There's the wrestling. There's lots
You got
of
the glycerin.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, people like, you have something good, right?
Uh-huh.
It can't get any better. Well, let's leave it alone. Wait a minute. Oh, you actually could just add nitro to the end of it, and it does make it better.
Huh? Oh.
The Poundcast. Yeah, that's a great... Wait, the Poundcast Nitro? What's different about... Are there more swear words? Do you see more booties? So, yeah. So, it's kind of...
Or less booty.
Yeah.
Well, ours is called Unzipped. Do you think Unzipped?
Oh, that's cool.
That's good. That's a plus.
Yeah, Unzipped is cool. Unzipped kind of sounds like the narrative version of like acoustic. You're stripping it down.
Yeah.
You know, and also we're revealing some stuff that was hidden.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Now, does it open up with a zzz?
We've done that. We've had that. We've had that. We've done that. We've
I
had
like
that. Yeah. In fact, there even, I think, was at one point a graphic.
Oh, a transition that is sealed and then it reveals it behind the layer as it kind of opens up.
I think we did something
We're
like that
behind the
once.
fly.
Yeah. That's
Or behind
good.
the fly.
We're behind the fly.
Behind the fly.
You know,
works, too.
I have things on my Patreon called BTS. Do you know what that stands for?
Oh, yeah.
I bet you don't.
Bet to so.
No, behind the scenes. But it's also between the snaps, because I'll snap and then some effect will happen, and then we get to see what happens between the snaps.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't mean to come, like, we ended up opening up talking about, like, I'm promoting my Patreon. That wasn't the point. I was more so saying.
I like how you're squeezing it in there.
Really, truly wasn't the point. It was more so to say that you could come and do that.
I guess I'm doing nitro.
Yeah.
But I really don't see what.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask you this real quick.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I had an intense foot fungus
Right.
that penetrates the sock,
Whoa.
would you want that in your house?
No way. I would have you put booties on your socks.
Oh, like that. But what if it penetrates the booties?
So the shoe still comes off, and then the booty's going.
Take your shoes off.
But what about if it's powerful to penetrate the sock, it will penetrate the booty.
Then you're not welcome.
Okay.
Now, do you have that foot fungus? Or are you trying to
Maybe.
prevent it?
Maybe.
I feel like you're more so, when you opened the door to let me in, you opened it holding a tissue.
I did.
Which means one of two things. You have hand fungus and you are trying not to spread it to other people
Trying to be
using
considerate, maybe.
or you were trying to avoid getting hand fungus. Now, if I know
hand fungus is a thing.
it's
I've had it. And I might still have it. So I'm trying to either be considerate or cautious or
Right.
both.
I think there's a third option besides hand fungus.
well, go ahead.
Finger fungus.
I
Right.
think
So
fungus.
no, we'll take it from here. Either hand fungus or finger fungus. That's it.
Right, I don't think fungus is in the equation there.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not correcting you. I'm just saying I don't think.
Well, what else could either he's afraid of hand fungus, finger
I think
fungus,
he's just afraid of touching something that might be dirty.
dirty with.
It's something germs, microscopic cooties. I don't know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In your world, fungus is just a general statement for something gross.
No.
Oh.
I've had finger fungus. I swear I've had it.
Well, let's
And-
stay on track here. Opening the door with a tissue is because of fungus or nah?
It could be.
See, that's the point I was trying to make.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is
Could be about warts.
It's
No, I'm
about
saying
everything.
that's
It's a
what I'm
catch-all
saying.
For,
But it could be warts,
It's
too.
not specifically fungus.
Could be warts.
But that's the point where if his feet, if it's the fungus that penetrates or is it everything else? And if we are saying it's fungus, then that's a fair point.
I just want to. Yeah, I think it should be honest. You shouldn't use fungus as an excuse when it
It could be warts.
could be anything.
Could be warts.
Right.
I've had warts.
We all have.
You've had warts on your fingers? Or somewhere
I
else?
Probably have.
You've had them on your fingers?
Have you ever had warts unzipped
Let me ask you this.
behind the zipper?
Rick.
Let me ask you this, Rick. What? You're in no shoes in the house anyway.
I'm in no shoes in my place.
In your place, yeah.
Everybody has their rules, and I will subscribe to them. If you want me to take your shoes off, I will. If you want me to leave them on, or if you're indifferent, I'll probably want to leave them on because other people are leaving theirs on, and I don't want my socks to be on their floor. But I will do whatever. Yes.
If somebody... Okay, do you like your guests to be comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
So what if taking off their shoes makes them uncomfortable?
My only priority isn't their comfort. It is a priority, but I also have my own boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Great answer.
But don't you think that booties is a nice compromise?
Yeah, I could see how that makes sense.
Like, doesn't that kind of take care of your discomfort and it also takes care of the other person's discomfort?
I also now you're a man who understands how to frame things. Is that fair to say? You know how to. You take a piece of clay and you go like, let me turn this into something.
I've done editing before
Right.
and stuff like that.
And there are
And camera work as well.
There are some rules that might. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking
I'm
about.
going to give you a little negative space.
Right.
To be
Push
artistic.
in. Push in. Just,
See? There we go. And then it's getting a little bit interesting.
Kind of artistic
a little
there,
artistic, a little mysterious.
yeah, and you set that, and you set a
Yeah.
style,
Yeah.
and it's kind of becomes the physics of your universe. Yes.
Sure.
Now, you could break it if there's a point. In fact, oftentimes it's fun to. But there's a kind of a thing that's been established that is fundamental to the product.
But don't you think that booties plays into that framework? And
somewhat.
And it plays into the framework while also playing into the uniqueosity of the guest.
Uniqueosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see
These
your
are all
point.
great arguments on my end.
Yeah, I see your point. But the show is called Take Your Shoes Off.
Right, and that's why the booties play into that.
Imagine if I did your Patreon and everything I had was zipped up.
But that's what you bring to Unzipped, is bringing it zipped up.
Yes.
That's what.
But then what happens?
That creates, that adds to the uniqueosity of Rick Glassman.
But it's the same thing. You can't.
We're not as literal with Unzipped
Right.
as, people click on that by the thousands because they're thinking they're going to see some D.
Whoa.
They're going to see some boners and stuff.
Right.
They're excited.
Right.
But once they're in,
Pun intended?
no. Once they're in, they're...
Pun intended?
Nah, yes, this time, yes.
I was making a urine joke out of D's.
Once you're in...
I didn't even get that. That's good.
You said once you're in. You said you're in twice, yeah.
I said urine.
Yeah.
Once you're in.
That's great.
Once you're in,
It's
You're
all
hooked.
feces stuff.
you're hooked.
It's all number 2.
Yeah, listen.
They think they're coming for the front, unzipped in the front.
Yeah.
It's unzipped down the
We
back.
got zippers in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much does it cost a month?
As little as 5.
As much as?
As much as you want.
As much as
Whoa.
sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But your point to saying you have to come in zipped in order to unzip, as would it be to take your shoes off?
I'm saying that if you came in zipped for unzipped, that plays into unzipped. For
right,
you.
and if you came in with your shoes on, that plays into you taking them off at the foyer.
Yeah, but our show is called Unzipped. It's not called Unzip Your Pants.
Right.
So it's a little more...
That's
it's
good. You're
more,
giving me, yeah.
I'm kind
it's
of like
vaguer,
playing
it's
into
vaguer, it's
your
broad.
logic a little more. I
Right.
think I'm helping you out.
But also that opens the door to people being more comfortable. Like, I'm not going to unzip my pants, but like I'll unzip my pocket.
Right.
See,
Or
I'll
like-
Or
unzip,
unzip your-
I'll unzip
unzip
my
your-
eyes. So I'll
Unzip your
my
mouth. Unzip
Yeah.
your mouth, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Well, let's move on here. I did... Rick Glassman's our host. I don't even know if we introduced him. We just started talking.
He's our
Is this
host.
in? Is this
He's
all
our
in, or is this
guest.
part of the?
This is all in.
I did say you're
Pun
coming on the
intended?
show. I did say you're coming on the show, and
People wrote in
I
some
said-
questions.
I said, what should I ask him? And, one person said, what's it like having Tim on your podcast? I guess that's pretty...
Either one of us could answer that.
Well, on your podcast.
Well, he did take his shoes off.
Okay.
Tim
well,
Heidecker?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took his shoes off.
So that's a great start.
I could I'll tell more, but I
He
just want to
broke-
let you know that,
Yeah, I mean, if Tim Heidecker jumps off a bridge, do you think I'm going to jump off a bridge?
it's actually a good point. Fair point.
Whose podcast would be Jump Off a Bridge?
Anyone who's listening to this.
Jeff Bridges. The Jeff Bridges podcast.
Yeah.
I'll
you
jump
go.
off a bridge.
Yeah.
That's
Jump off a
the whole
bridge.
podcast it's super short. They wear bungee cords,
Of course.
but it's it's a 2-second long podcast.
Whoa.
It's a really quick interview.
It sounds like Unzipped.
By the way, I performed somewhere recently, kind of a weird kind of out of the way kind of place.
That one you're talking about, that's the Vegas?
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was in this big music venue where there was only 30 people, and the kind of acts that perform there, that are music acts, one of the bands is Jeff Bridges.
So you played at like Hard Rock Cafe or something?
It was no, it wasn't. It was It's called
The Jeff Bridges?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, the actor. His band is the kind of acts that they have there.
That's cool.
That is cool. What about a podcast with Jeff Bridges and Lloyd Bridges?
Yeah,
That way it could be called Bridges.
Bridges.
With a S apostrophe.
Put Bo in there
Bridges,
too.
Bridges.
Get Bridget Fonda in there.
Okay.
Let's do them all.
Yeah. What about Bridget Mendler?
Get them all in there.
Who?
We don't know who that is.
Well, you will when you watch Bridges podcast.
Who do you want to get on your show real bad? Who's your number one?
Arnold
How long
Schwarzenegger.
you been doing your show?
But at the time of this recording, we just put out episode 229, one a week. So 4.5 or so years.
Okay.
I think it's the best podcast but the best produced podcast
Well, why clarify it that way?
on the scene.
It's the best. I mean, the best shot.
got the best colors.
Best camera work.
It's got the best color correction out of any podcast I've seen.
No, Brent, you're saying that it's really cool the way it's edited and
It's
stuff.
produced better than any. It's the best produced video podcast that I've ever seen for comedy. that is hosted by Rick Glassman.
Right. Well, after that last one, now there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So now that's just mine.
Well, where do you have to take off your shoes to be a guest? Yeah.
Where you get to take off your shoes.
Get to. Yeah.
Take off your shoes is a nice gesture. It makes me comfortable. It also makes most people comfortable. There's a lot of wants.
How long have you done it?
As of the time of this recording, I just
4.5
did episode
years.
229.
Sorry.
So about
And who
4.5
do you
years.
want? Arnold Schwarzenegger, truly?
Yeah. I had Will Smith on once, but it was not even. It was almost 30 minutes. It wasn't totally.
You got Will Smith?
I got Will Smith. I met Will Smith. I've talked about this on my podcast. I don't want to get too much into it now, but I met him coincidentally a long time ago in college. I was bowling, and I almost bowled a perfect game. And Will Smith happened to have been at that bowling alley.
Wait, what? Where?
Cleveland.
Kent State. So
Toledo.
Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
Near Akron, where
Akron.
LeBron is from.
Okay.
And I had the first 9 frames were perfect, and the first and the 10th was a strike. I was 10 strikes in, and the whole bowling alley, like around 5 or 6, frame 5 or 6, people started like coming over, and Will Smith was there. I met him like for a second. There's no way he would remember. Incidentally, I had an agency meeting, and I saw him in the hallway, and that was my aunt. I said, "Will, I'm the guy that almost bowled the perfect game." And we got to talking for a second, and I had a camera there because I was recording something else, and we ended up doing a kind of a podcast, but he didn't have that much time, and we did 30 minutes about, and we're gonna do it later, a part 2, and we're gonna put them together. And as you can imagine, he's a busy man. Kind of never ended up happening, and then put it off, and it's been a little bit of time, and I'm still wanting to do that second one with him.
But you put out the first one.
I have not put out the first one.
Oh.
He wants it to be one piece.
I want it to be one piece, and originally it was just gonna be a part 2, but now it's gonna be years later.
Why'd you go Nitro?
Well, you can't get Will Smith, then go Nitro.
Yeah. If you can't get 2, go Nitro.
At some point.
Did you know if?
But Arnold Schwarzenegger, LeBron James, I want to get Will Smith back on very much.
Now, why LeBron Jim? Are you a?
He played basketball.
I call him
with
LeBron Jim.
I heard.
Do you?
He's
play
played
ball?
With him. He's played with him.
You played ball with him.
Again, in high school but
In high school.
Yeah.
Are you from Ohio?
Well, you could say that.
Well, now it makes more sense. Well, why was Will Smith up there?
I don't know.
Really?
Maybe he was meeting with LeBron.
You sure it was him?
Yes.
Okay. Was this during Fresh Prince years or what?
No.
Okay.
No, this was around I Am Legend, which is what they would have called me if I got 2 more strikes. Now they just say
True.
I'm phenomenal.
Yeah.
We'll cut to it. I made a basketball video. It's like 15 minutes. Can we cut to it?
Yeah, right now.
Roll the clip.
It's like that. See, that's how
We
they
made
do
basketball videos too, me and Brent.
Oh.
it. Yeah, we do basketball.
Yeah, we do basketball videos.
You ever do it basketball unzipped?
Yeah, kind of.
Basketball deflated? Unpopped.
Basketball dunked.
What kind of
We're
basketball
gonna go
videos?
dunked in a little bit.
What kind of basketball
Dunked.
videos do you make?
We've made some. We might make more.
Whoa. But what kind?
I mean,
You know, just the hardcore. We're dunking and
Are either of you
flipping.
guys bisexual?
no, I mean, not me.
Are you?
I mean, not yet.
Are you?
I don't know.
That's a yes.
No. I'm not. I mean, it
If
doesn't
LeBron
matter.
wasn't, if
What
LeBron
about
wasn't
what
borrowed?
about for LeBron?
Yeah, for
What does that mean?
LeBron.
You'll go buy for
Would you
Bron.
go buy for
No, I'm not.
Bron?
No, I'm straight. I'm straight. But I was just wondering if you guys were bi.
Well, what does that have to do with us in the middle of him describing a basketball video?
I don't know.
But are you? Is this like how you get out of a?
Sounds like-
By the way, are you bisexual? That's a great life hack. Say you're like having a conversation that's going nowhere. Are any of you bisexual? Why are you asking? Are you?
No, I'm straight.
Oh no, me. No,
I'm straight. I just want to know if you guys
I'm
were
straight.
bi.
I'm straight.
It's funny to ask if someone's bi rather than ask if they're gay.
Well, you always know if somebody's gay or straight. You don't know if they're bi. Gay, straight.
So, you weren't sure if
About
we were
what?
gay or straight.
Or bi.
No. I know that if you're gay or straight, gay, straight. But if you're bi, you might both be bi. I can't tell if you're bi or not. It's kind of like I could tell if somebody's Jewish if both their parents are Jewish.
Right.
But if, my mom is, I might not be able to tell.
They might be bi.
Are you Jewish?
That's personal.
My Judar is going off pretty strong.
Careful.
What? Careful. What do you mean careful?
Careful, buddy.
Wait a sec. Is that a wrong thing to say?
Listen, I'm just saying, it's on the internet. I would just...
Okay, I guess in this day and age, you don't want to mess around with
You
that.
said two things. You said Jew and the R word. So I don't know.
Dar. What's the R word?
Don't want to get into that one right now either.
What'd I say? Do you remember?
Well, it's R in reverse. It's an R word in reverse.
Are you bi? Or are you not bi?
Let's move on.
Yep.
You try.
You want me to... I'm trying to be bi, but it's not working.
Let's talk about this LeBron business. You want to get LeBron on? Have you reached out?
Yeah, I sent him a message on Instagram.
And did you say, hey, we played once together?
I think I sent him a message on Instagram. I actually may not have.
Did you say we played
Maybe
together?
I should. I told this story once on my podcast, but I went to a game, a Cavs game. Well, LeBron, I don't know.
Cavs, like they got nice calves. Now that's making me bi. Thinking about those
like
calves.
that. I used to do a joke about being a fan of
I'm going all the way gay for it, actually.
Actually, I'm not going to tell the joke here.
Oh, come on.
No, go on now.
Maybe you could hype me up and
You
I'll
don't want
maybe
to
do
burn
it
a
later.
joke? Can we try to guess what the punchline is?
We'll do that. Set us up. We'll punch
set
it.
us up,
We'll punch
we'll
it.
dunk
The punchline was basically kind of like Cavs, but it was about the legs.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of what I just did.
Kinda. That's what made me think of it. But there's three sports teams. There's the Browns. There's now the Guardians. It used to be the Indians, and there's the Cavs. And I would do a little bit of wordplay. It's kind of how I got into comedy.
The Browns are the toilet team. Something like that.
Cavs.
Is that where you went with it?
Nope.
It's like this. The guard.
We talked about sports last week a lot.
Did they like it?
Well,
That's why we had you on, actually.
Whoa.
I'm not sure if Aaron liked it or not. Might have been annoyed by it, but he's a Cardinals fan, and I stand by it.
You asked what it was like having Tim on the podcast, and when Tim...
I didn't ask. Somebody else did. I'm asking on behalf of...
Why are you being so defensive about that?
Because we would never ask him.
Right, that's what it felt like.
How dare...
I don't care.
No, I wouldn't. You could be gay, straight, bi. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying somebody else wants to know if you're bi. Yeah, somebody actually wrote in if you guys are bi. I don't care.
It'd be funny if you had your own questions.
Yeah, I do. I
on
said I was
behalf of
coming
other
on.
people.
Is it true that the guys are bi? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I guess I could ask them. Are you guys bi? I mean, it doesn't. I don't care.
Okay, so Tim, you enjoyed Tim's episode?
Yeah, we ended up talking more than getting into what often happens on my podcast, where it gets real silly. And I would have loved to have gotten silly with him, but that's on me because it's my podcast. But he came over, and I don't even remember what he said. What is the name of some production company that you guys work with, or they set it up? And he's like, "How do you know whatever this thing was?" And I'm like, "I don't."
Forever Dog?
Forever Dog. Is that you guys?
Why would I know?
I don't.
I'm
didn't ask.
I'm just trying to act all annoying. No, that is our podcast is on that network as Poundcast is on
all things comedy.
All things comedy right here, baby.
Well, they said Forever Dogs.
Right here, baby. Check it out all day. All right.
They set it up by messaging, and when he came, he's like, "How do you know them?" And I felt like it was an accident that we ended up podcasting because I don't know who you're talking about. Maybe they thought this was something else or something. So then we kind of just got meeting each other. But I would have loved to have. There's certain guests where I would want to get high with. He would be one of them.
I remember watching your show, and you're openly just blazing weed. Do you still do that?
Yes, but I don't smoke weed anymore because it hurts my throat. You could probably relate to this, you fucking nerd. Bleep that.
What do you do? Do you ingest it?
Edibles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love them.
Did you find out if Tim was bi?
Now, what does the weed do for you? Because you're blazing a lot.
Not a lot. What do you mean? You mean like when I do it, I blaze a lot, or I often do it? What did they ask?
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying based on the.
I've been high on 25 of my 200 plus.
Oh,
pods.
okay.
Maybe 30.
All right.
I made that number up, but that's probably about right.
Does it
maybe 40?
Does it help focus with thinking and stuff?
I podcasted with Harlan Williams 6 times.
Really?
Before yesterday was 4.
You did 2 yesterday.
He did 2 on mine, and then I've done 2 on his, and then yesterday I did the 3rd. And I needed a Patreon episode for the month. I asked if he would do one, so he met me. That's where at the studio where you can keep your shoes on. And we did a Patreon episode, the 6th, and there's lots of bits with Harlan Williams. So funny. I only got high with him on the 6th one. And on my way over here, I was having a phone call with my girlfriend, or boyfriend. And I said how much fun I had. I love being high with Harlan. Harlan didn't get high. But the 6th...
Oh, he didn't get...
No. We've done... The first 5, neither one of us were high.
Gotcha.
The 6th one, I don't think he even gets high.
Right.
But I did on the 6th one, and he didn't. And
He didn't care?
He didn't even know until I told him later.
Because you got gummy.
Well, yeah, also, I'm not just eating bags of Funyuns and just, it just puts you in a fun mood where you don't have to ride the wave to surf, if that makes sense. As a stand-up comedian, sometimes when you're in the pocket, they're already liking you. You get to say that next joke. Part of what you just did, the momentum. You're riding the momentum. You're in the pocket. And what I find that with weed, for better and for worse, depending on how well you could read a room, you get that feeling of being on the wave without needing to actually get wet.
Without having to do good or be funny.
It's not about what I'm talking about. Isn't about being funny or not being funny. I'm not saying it's funny no matter what. I'm saying that
I know
feeling.
What you're saying. You're feeling loose and confident.
Sure.
Without having to pump up the jams from the crowd's feedback, giving you that
yes,
wave.
But I don't like it described that way because I also could feel loose and confident without it. It's a very specific thing, which is there's a very collaborative feel to it. Do you ever do improv? Do you guys ever do improv shows?
Never, but I feel like I do improv kind of bits all the time,
Well, there's something that improv offers that stand-up doesn't, and that is a specific type of collaboration where you're setting up somebody, they're setting you up, that's the intention. There's actually a term called gifting information, but it really does feel like you're giving and taking and building something together, like a sport. I think of it like a sport, like a basketball.
Oh, baby,
like basketball,
dunk.
where you guys when somebody else scores, you benefit from it too.
Yeah.
And it's your team, and you want to facilitate, and you want to be part of it. Sometimes in your audience, sometimes you're on the stage or the court. Being high gives that for me, especially when I'm with somebody else. I like when they're high, but they don't have to be. Of let's fucking. Set each other up, set me up. I want to play. I'm going to create this world. I want you to live in it. I want you to create a world, and I want to come visit too. I want us to both visit our own worlds. And just that.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it's great. It feels so good.
I like that.
It feels so good. And food tastes so good when you're high. Food tastes so good when you're high. When you get high and then you go get donuts?
I haven't gotten high in a long time, but I used to in my 20s, back in the day.
Why'd you stop?
And it started making me feel bad.
While you were high or when you were coming down?
All of it.
Oh, yeah, well then you absolutely
I would just
should
wait.
stop.
I would be like, when is this going to wear off?
Right, then that you should stop.
Yeah, but I wish I did. But.
I'll tell you something. There's a brand that I'm almost exclusive. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like when people are enthusiastic about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of people of. Were we talking about this last week on the show, or
was
I was
it
talking
sports?
about it with somebody? I just like when people are psyched about stuff and they're just kind of contagious.
Well, then let me talk to you about Boston Legal in a little bit.
Let's go.
But first, I want to suggest to you, Kiva is they make more than just chocolates, but Kiva Chocolates is the weed. Hello, my name is Rick Glassman, and Kiva Chocolates is my weed of choice.
Is that your sponsor too?
Incidentally, they have sponsored sometimes. Before they ever sponsored podcasts, because I've been taking them free. Whenever I'm on the podcast, I'm taking Kiva Chocolates. They saw that. They started sending me some chocolates. Then they ended up sponsoring, but unrelated. I'm Kiva.
It's kind of a callback when you're promoting your Patreon and stuff.
Sure. Again, that was
this
more.
This is not a really intentional. Just something you're actually.
This is something much like Boston Legal.
So what is Kiva Chocolate? It's wheat chocolate?
Kiva is just a brand that they do edibles. They also have this
edible chocolate, and is what you like.
It's what I like. It's so consistent. It's such a good high.
Is the guy not going to make me freak out?
I've given this chocolate to a lot of people. Some people that smoke, some people that don't smoke much, some people that have never smoked before. Okay? I would suggest certain dosages, taking a little bit, and then if you not taking more that night, taking as little as there's a good chance you won't feel anything. And if you do, it'll be very mild. That'll give a better tell of how you metabolize. Because a lot of people talk about their tolerance, and you drink, and as you drink, you get a stronger tolerance. That does exist, but also the way the body metabolizes things is different. For example, I drink coffee often, but I only need literally a few sips of coffee, and I'm fucking yacked, dude. So much so that I don't even know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
I don't need that much. I love weed. 5 milligrams. People call me a cuck fucking dork. Really? 5 milligrams gets you high? Yeah. I take 1 piece. So I would suggest a half a piece. But if you're interested, Kiva chocolates to get you into it. And then you eat stuff. Dude. So it's raining today. You ever at home and you don't have anything to do, at least for a little bit, and you don't know it's raining, and then you like look out the window or you hear it or something and you're like, it's raining? And does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
What about you, Brent?
I don't like rain so much.
Well, you'll know what I'm talking about then. What about this? What about it's cold in your house. You don't want to put the heat on. You get in bed, you're under the covers. You're warm now, but it's cold outside in just the right way. You could stick your feet out a little bit. Your face is, a little nice and cool. You're just bundled up. Do you get that? Is that a comfortable feeling?
I could be kind of into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I sleep without the heater on, if that makes any point.
I like that too.
Yeah. So
That's the best way to sleep. Cold but bundled.
But
yeah.
But I don't really. I have the heater on. I like to be warm.
Yeah. Would you still sleep in a hazmat suit? We'll be right back. And we're back. So these things I'm explaining are feelings that it's not being cold is comfortable or being warm is comfortable. It could be, but that's not the point I'm making.
Yeah.
It's more situational. Mm-hmm. It's raining outside, but you're inside and you're protected, and it's like, you don't feel bad for not going out and doing stuff.
I can understand.
That's
that
what
feeling.
weed does for tasting things. Wow. What's going on with the weather and the temperature in here and the friendships that I have? Why does this taste so good? Mm-hmm. It's weed, man. Weed does for your taste buds what a fan and being under the covers does for a sleeping body.
Well, I've been reading this book about ritual, and doing something with ritual makes things, the experience better.
Yeah, it's a big part of the Jewish tradition.
If you just eat some food and not think about it, but if you like kind of, I don't know, saying grace or whatever, I don't do that. But it's that kind of thing where you're like, you kind of think about it and you're like, thank you for this food, whoever. Just little things like that.
Boy, girl, or whatever.
Yeah, boy, girl, bisexual, or, I mean, you never know.
Right.
But boyfriend, thank you.
But what you're also kind of talking about is just being present. Which is the greatest gift you can have.
I'm getting into that too. I'm getting into more present.
Yeah.
Getting into that present.
You got to get into weed, dude.
They'll make it present.
You don't have to.
They'll make it present. Maybe I'll get back into it.
No. You don't want that. You don't.
Brent is way anti.
You're anti-drug?
Yeah.
Weed's the only drug I do. That and, of course,
caffeine.
Laughs. And caffeine. Only a few days a week.
What about endorphins?
Laughs is not as so much of a drug as it is a medicine.
Ain't that the truth? Absolutely. What you're talking about is when your body could secrete chemicals like endorphins or dopamine or whatever it might be naturally. Maybe you're more okay with that if you get to things from a certain food or an action. But if you have to take some type of a substance, you're against it. Now, I could understand that. But much like people who eat whole foods only and limit their processed food, some drugs are minimally processed. A coffee bean, a sugar cane, a marijuana leaf. These are all things that you could ingest and feel its response very naturally. What do you think about that? Is sugar something you stay away from?
I'm conscious of sugar.
More dangerous than weed, if you ask me.
But the thing about marijuana is that maybe you don't have this, but part of it for me is that there's a stigma to it for me. And there's a negative association with marijuana.
Yeah, the guy that you were doing before, what was he doing?
Funyuns and the
Funyuns guy?
Yeah.
It's not just that, too. It's just
what else is the Funyuns guy doing? Sorry, Brian.
He fucking likes surfing, dude. He likes fucking gnar, riding the gnar. He likes stuff that you like. He likes skateboarding. And also, like, things are really far away from them, or more specifically when they're high, they're far out. Like, that's... Or are you thinking more like stinky, wearing a poncho?
It's not just that. It's all of it. And that it's not... It just doesn't have... To me, it affects your brain and the way you perceive things differently than the way sugar does. And I don't like that.
Now, question. Do you think that your brain... I'm asking an honest question right now, just in case we weren't sure. Real question. The way your brain works is different than the typical person. I'm not asking you. I'm letting you know. The way your brain works is not typical. And I say that with no judgment. But when you say it makes your brain work in a different way, based off of the, using your words, negative connotations, it does feel like there is judgment toward it. So if you don't want to do something because of how you see other people, I think that's a great survival mechanism. Other people are doing this thing. I don't like the way that they look. I don't want to become that. And I'm not here saying everyone needs to do weed. If you don't want to do weed, don't, just based on that you liked it before.
But also this, not even about the way people act or the way that they might think. It's just the fact that it will change the way you perceive things, will it not? It does change something.
Sure.
And if you're adverse to change, and I am,
then
same. That's why I'm kind of against it. But
absolutely,
for me at least, But
stay on that. Stay on that topic if we can.
And sugar doesn't have that kind of effect, or even caffeine really. But I don't even do caffeine.
Understood. I also am averse. I don't want to say I'm averse to change. I challenge. Change is an obstacle. Adapting to new situations is an obstacle.
It's not just that. It's just also I like the way I think, and I don't want to change that or perceive things. I like the way I perceive things.
You
so
like the way you move it.
You should have heard him do that if you were high.
Yeah.
I don't drink for that reason. Every now and then maybe I'll have a sip of something, but like I feel like this, I'm not in control of myself the way I like to be and I don't trust myself the way I think maybe at least like to be, if not need to be. Everyone's different. Weed doesn't do that for me. Weed doesn't make me hallucinate. Weed doesn't make me see things entirely differently. If I had to define it more so than
you said it did though.
It gives me a different, a supplemental appreciation for things. It doesn't make me all of a sudden, whoa, this isn't what I thought it was.
You're like, whoa, dude, Pink Floyd's fucking awesome now.
But it did change your feeling to some degree. I mean, it augments your feeling, I guess, or something, right? So
positively.
Yeah, sir.
Like having sex.
Hey, do what you want to do.
You ever have sex with a guy or a girl? It doesn't matter. But like, you'll do that. That'll change.
No.
Gotcha. Right.
But
I buy that.
He's virginal.
Yeah, you know that?
I didn't assume you were, but I did think that there was a possibility.
Good. Mission accomplished.
Have you ever told a lie for comedic effect on this podcast?
Have I ever told a lie?
Have you ever told an untruth?
Yeah, totally.
How do I know you're not doing it right now then?
That's what I mean.
Maybe you haven't.
What I just said about saying a truth?
Yeah.
He's not a virgin.
It could be.
Show me a video of him having sex.
I got the video. I got the tapes.
Show me. We don't have to show the camera.
Dan Ramos asked if you go by David Schwimmer when you audition. Is this something you've done?
Dan Ramos. Shout out to Dan Ramos, by the way. Great question. Dan, I don't, but my headshot, I have a headshot. We've talked about this.
Well, we both had the same thing.
Which we found out years after we were doing it. I have a headshot, and it is a headshot of David Schwimmer, but the name says Rick Glassman.
Oh, okay.
And it is my headshot that I do use for my auditions.
Do you think you look like him?
When I was younger,
maybe no
your
glasses
age.
and my age.
People said that I look like Ross from Friends.
Right. Okay.
But those were just people who were thinking.
And did you hand that out for real at an audition, like as a joke?
I would hand it at auditions.
I ran into him at an audition, and he had that headshot with him.
Did it ever work?
Oh, yeah. There's something I found a little bit silly about bringing in a headshot for two reasons. One, they didn't always want them, so like you don't know if you need it or not. And two, what are you doing? They're taking videos of you. You don't need
Right.
this.
Well, especially post 2010, I would say, even maybe post 2006 or 8 or 9. Yeah,
9. Let's say at least
let's
9.
say 9. At least 9. People didn't really need headshots anymore
right.
because there was digital headshots. You can just email them a headshot. You know, they don't need that.
Now, when people audition to be on your podcast, you ask
People
for a
don't
shoe
audition
shot?
to come on my podcast. But if
It's
I
offer-
did,
it's
I would ask for a foot shot.
Thank you. That's what I was getting
Yeah.
towards. Foot shot.
It's offer only.
Shoe shot.
Off or booty only if
Right.
you're my grandma.
Now, look, how about this? I have been doing this for years.
Brad Pitt.
I use Brad Pitt's headshot.
You
and
told
it
me you
says
saw my headshot and you said that you do that.
Yeah, I had Brad Pitt's headshot with Brent Weinbach on it.
That's wild.
And my joke is that
And
I
you
don't
copied
look
him.
like him at all.
Yeah, but I would argue
And-
that it's still the same joke. There's different subtext.
Did you copy his joke?
No, I ran into him seeing he did that. And I
then
said,
he
"Oh, I
told
do
me-
that too."
Yeah, allegedly. I mean, I never saw him
What
do
if
that.
everyone does that?
And I that's if anybody asks me for a headshot, I'll send them that and I'll sign that. And or
You didn't say it doesn't have to be of me. You said a headshot. Right.
well, no, it says Brent Weinbach on it. I just thought it'd be
Yeah.
funny.
I
that-
remember you told me that you give a headshot, but it didn't have your name on it. Did you add that maybe after I told you?
No.
I had my
I've
name?
always had my name on it.
I don't know. Do you have any pictures of you holding a newspaper before you saw me that
I think
audition?
I do actually.
Okay, then never mind. I don't need to see it. I know you don't lie on this podcast. You're a
That's
virgin
true.
and you don't lie.
That's true.
But if I ever find out that you have had sex before this date, I'll know that you took that headshot idea from me. Just saying.
Do you want any more questions from the listeners, viewers?
Sure, but unless you guys want to talk about some stuff too.
I
We
mean,
didn't really have questions for you. That's why we asked the audience.
Sorry about that.
Because I know everything about you already.
No, we could just.
I
ask-
do want to know.
Do you think that he sounds like Moshe? Close your eyes.
Okay, let's
Now open
let's
them.
do a taste
Wait,
test.
no.
Blind
Close
taste
your
test.
eyes. Now,
Go ahead.
I'll just ask you a question. What do you think about surfing?
Well, when Natasha and I go surfing,
No way. He does not sound like that.
Oh. Got a little laugh though.
No, it's the same exact voice with a little different
A
accent.
little different.
Accent.
Kind of like how he did the same bit as me, but with a little different twist.
He
You think Moshe's
has
up high like that?
What?
no. He was joking about that.
Oh.
Your voice is, I guess, kind of in the same register as
It just
Moshe's.
reminds me. It's powerful. Powerful
and
man
people
voice.
say sometimes we look alike. I think we both have dark hair, Jewish, and glasses.
I don't think you look
But I
alike.
don't think we really look alike.
The thing about
But close
Moshe,
enough.
he has a little bit more of an urban kind of.
Can you go
a
urban?
little bit more of an urban?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Affect to him a little bit. Go ahead.
Can you go hip? Can you say some hip hop stuff?
I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's erase to waste it. Take the evil out the people that be acting right. Cause both black and white are smoking crack tonight. And the only time we chill is when we kill each other. It takes skill to be real, try and heal each other. Now I know it seems evident we ain't ready to see a black president, but and in a secret I conceal the fact the penitentiary is packed and it's filled with blacks. But some things will never change. That's kind of like what Moshe sounds like to me.
That's Rakim.
No,
Who was it?
I forget his name.
Tupac.
I thought the beginning was
I
the
think
rap
that might
from
be
Black
it.
or White.
Is that it? Tupac?
I thought that was.
I don't know. I can't
I thought
remember
that was
his-
Eric B. and Rakim.
I can't remember his name, and you kind of spoke over me, but I got to tell you something. I ain't
What?
mad at you.
I spoke over you. I just asked a question.
No, I was just trying to make a joke to say I ain't mad at you.
Oh.
Because I knew it was Tupac, and I was saying another Tupac
Oh, it
line.
is Tupac. Okay. Hey, let's do a rap right now.
Great.
Round robin rap?
Are you good at freestyling?
Yes.
No, but it doesn't have to be super tight. It could be.
Oh,
Right.
then no.
I'll go. We'll go clockwise. I'll start a line. Then you do the next line. Then you start a new line that I get a rhyme off your rhyme. You understand?
Oh, I start the new one. Okay.
My name is Doug. I got Rick on the show.
Isn't it his turn now?
Okay.
Guys or girl, doesn't matter if you eat them out or if you blow.
You could be a vegan, you could be a vegetarian,
Whoa.
or you could definitely eat meat.
And if I want to watch Nickelodeon, I'm watching Pete and Pete.
I like that.
Interesting.
Hey Arnold, Ah Real Monsters. These were shows I liked.
Out of Control. You can't say that on television. And, after you watch those shows, you can probably get a sandwich at Ike. at Ike
That's actually not
or
bad.
something.
Alanis is on the show, and Barf
What?
makes the burgers.
Alanis-san? What is that?
Alanis on the show, Barf makes the burgers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
I did, but it almost
You
sounds
can't do
Japanese
that on
in a way.
television. Alanis Morissette was a child actor on that show.
Oh, I don't remember.
And
I remember there was a show you can't do that on television, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, the cafeteria chef, his name was Barf. Alanis on the show, Barf makes the burgers.
Oh, okay.
Now
Unlike
you-
John Candy in Spaceballs, whose name was Barf, half man, half dog. Try asking Ron Sturger.
What? I like how that part of the rhyme had so many more syllables to it.
Do you remember Barf?
Wait, who's Ron Sturger?
I didn't know what could rhyme with burger.
Yeah, because he was like Barf, Barf. He was a dog from Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yeah, John
was a-
played by Jan Candy.
Yeah, he was his own best friend.
Yeah.
So that was a movie made by
Oh, we're still going.
the legendary Mel Brooks. He's still alive today, and he's in his 90s.
Are we doing? Am I rhyming? Over
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude,
I don't know. I thought we were doing that still.
this is like what is known as a cipher, but more so siphoning the energy out of.
No, it's siphoning TV and movie trivia out of.
We should get Ron Sturgers on the podcast.
Well, we could cut. We'll bring this rhyme to an end.
All right.
Oh, he's in his 90s. I go on IMDb. I look for his credits, and I find these.
Oh,
Right.
that's
You know,
good.
I-
Yeah, that
that's
you didn't
pretty
rhyme with. Yeah,
That's pretty good. One
Yeah.
more.
Oh, I look at the. Oh, when I put on the booties, I go on his show and I look at their heinies.
now that is
See,
that's good merch.
Now we're talking. That's good merch.
Yeah,
All right, one more. Let's do it.
Oh, you want him to?
Yeah, give me this.
Well,
give me the layup.
He gives you a layup.
Yeah, give me the layup.
Okay. He's texting. He's out.
no, I'm pulling up a royalty-free beat.
Well, I can't.
I could plug it. You could plug it in off of there too. If you
He's
want.
not gonna put his headphones on.
True.
Well, we don't really need to look up a beat. I mean, it's not that important. I mean,
That's
we
the
could
hard-
move on. In fact, if
the
you
hardest part. It sounds like a Target commercial.
Fungus, boogers, handrails, sugar, drugs, speed, dopamine, weed. Am I a virgin or not? Do I eat out thoughts? Do I inebriate my thoughts, or do I handle everything I can do? Sandu, man, boogies. Sandu, shuggy, nothing but a cookie, doogie, sugar, everything I ever needed. Love and lost, everything I ever feeded. Inside my soul, my breath, my mind, my soul, my heart, my canopy. Canopy, can't pee unless you unzip me. Understand the shades of Lord's trees and love and lust and everything that comes above us. Nothing more and not unless you shove us. Brother, I tell you, I love you, my soul. Nothing could undo what I've done on this jelly roll, belly roll, heli roll, man, telly roll. Celly roll.
Dude, he's more urban than Moshe.
Yeah. Go.
Well, I kind of feel like that was.
Go. You should just do the hook part.
I feel like it's done. It's good.
Another beat.
That's too complete.
You know what I like to do? I don't want to give you guys work, so you don't have to do it, of course. But even though it's royalty free, someone made it, and I like to put up the thumbnail of whoever did to give them credit. But even if not, I'll just say retro beats, old school rap beat, hustler. You know, you got to let people know.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well, I
let people
appreciate
know.
that.
Gotta let people know. That's
Let
the
'em
rhyme.
know.
Because the go was the last night. You said go.
Good.
And you know what? When it comes to the beat we use on that last piece, you gotta let people know.
Gotta let him know.
Your turn.
I can't really rap. I mean, but I'll try.
This is Trinity, 90s old school jazz freestyle boom bap type beat.
Okay, here it goes. They kind of added their own lyrics to this. The box. Open the box. What's inside? A kite. Put it on a string. Let it fly into the air. Feel the wind against your hair. Let it tickle on the side of your neck. A bird comes by. He gives you a peck on the lips.
Damn.
Take a sip from your drink. It's pink. It's a Slurpee. Some people say Slurpee good. Other people say Slurpee foot would if Slurpee could.
Can't get mad at that.
That's
Very
actually
good.
kind of interesting.
See, you could
Some
do it.
people say
You did do
Slurpee
it.
good. Others say Slurpee would if Slurpee could.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It could be the title of this episode. Slurpee would if Slurpee could.
Did you ever go to
I think it will.
social events?
Sir? You?
Sir.
Sir. Would you say sir?
Sir. It
Sir.
sounded like you said sir.
Do you go to yeah?
Sir.
Do you go to sir? You go to social
sir.
events too? Sir. Sir.
Yeah, sir.
Sir?
I don't know. I write down certain things in my notes. Oh, we can also do something that
Do we need to
annoys
do that
him.
again for sound?
Do something that annoys him. That annoys us. No, we're good. He's off mic.
Okay. Oh, you stopped taking mic?
Do you do you find out? Do you?
I thought it was funny too.
Do you know when
Thank you.
people try to like?
But I said thanks to him because since he's off mic, people didn't hear him laugh. So that was me getting the exposition out that he laughs. so people
Got
know.
it. Got it.
Thanks. Go ahead.
I'm moving on.
No,
Why?
no, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry.
There's too many interruptions on that one, and now I feel. Like
Oh, well, I'm mad at you.
What toothpaste are you riding with?
I change them up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm using Hello. Before that I was using something, I don't remember the brand, but it was a tube. And you push the button and it comes out like a metal tube. Before that I was using, I
A
usually,
metal tube with
Yeah.
toothpaste for real.
yeah, like what astronauts would probably use. And let me tell you something, out of this world. We'll be right back. And we're back. I generally will do fluoride free for like 3 purchases at a time, and then I'll get a fluoride toothpaste.
Why do you do that?
Because I'm trying to stay
Have you
away
done the research on the fluoride and you know what's up with it?
Not enough to advise other people, but I have read substantial amount of research and it mixed reviews. Mixed reviews, as a lot of stuff does. Published medical sources have told me things that make me want to stop using fluoride, and some have told me that it's okay, and more so, the ones that are it's okay are more so saying it's not harmful, not necessarily that you should be doing it. Now, my dentist recommends that I use fluoride. So I cycle it. I use fluoride sometimes and then no fluoride. I have some, I'm in touch with my hormones. I'm seeing an endocrinologist, and my hormones are a little bit irregulated. Not irregulated, what's the word I'm looking for? Just out of the norms. And I know that fluoride could mess with hormones, so I'm even a little bit more like, maybe I'll stay away more than not. Yeah.
No, as far as your rap goes, are you listening to Flo Rida?
Oh, good question. I have listened to Flo Rida.
Okay. Are you a healthy guy? I mean, are you looking into detail, like just asking that toothpaste question?
Am I looking at ingredients?
You're looking at you have this regimen of 3 weeks on, 1 week on, 3 weeks off.
No,
Are you doing that with a lot of things in your life, whether you're looking in detail, taking a detailed look at things that you consume?
Filling
like
in
that?
for Conan O'Brien and So Nervous.
Huh?
Just the way you asked that was like you fumbled it in a way that I was making a joke about, and now the fact that we're not on the same page makes me feel like I shouldn't have called it out.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. I want to make sure that it's clear that the toothpaste isn't 3 weeks on, 1 off. It's I'll buy a thing of toothpaste that's no fluoride for 2 or 3 times, and then the third or
Okay,
fourth.
weeks. I got weeks off.
Yeah.
I didn't mean weeks. I meant tubes.
So I try to be aware. I try and educate myself. When I grocery shop, I do look at ingredients. I try and stay away from vegetable oils. On weekdays, I try to stay away, if not at least limit my fried foods, my gluten. I've noticed that gluten inflames my joints a bit. Jewish, and but like I'll still eat out. I had ice cream last night. I love donuts. That's the thing about high. For me, why I don't get high as much as I normally would is when I'm high, I have no control.
You're going straight to Dunkin'.
I have nothing against Dunkin' Donuts, but that is never something on my mind where it's like I got to go to Dunkin'.
Where you go?
But I mean, Dunkin's good.
But what's your pig out food when you're?
You know, there's I'll go to any donut. Here's the thing, all donuts are good.
I agree.
But there are
agree.
some
They're
places that
all
have
good.
better apple fritters. Apple fritters are a little bit more so like
Subtle.
yeah, like I feel like a waffle, a Belgian waffle for breakfast is the safest choice out of the big three: Belgian waffle, French toast, pancake. Belgian waffle is the hardest to mess up.
Mm-hmm.
French toast, there's so many different kinds. So there's some places where you get the waffle, some places you get the French toast. So at Universal City Walk, they have it at other places, but there's a donut place called Voodoo Donuts. I'm sure you've all heard of this.
Yeah, the original one's in Portland.
Yes, they have a great apple fritter.
Okay,
Yeah,
they nailed it.
yeah, great apple fritter, really good maple bar. But typically what I'll do is no matter where I am, if we have French crawlers, something I've realized, most people have seen a French crawler, might not know what it's called, and probably never had one.
Never bought it.
Do you know what a French crawler is, though?
Is that the bear claw?
No.
It's different.
Do you?
I've heard of a French tickler.
What is the French tickler?
I don't know. I've heard about it. I just heard somebody getting that once.
It's a sexual position, right?
Oh, really? I thought it was something. I thought it was.
It's a condom.
I thought it was something.
What is
else
a French tickler?
I think it's a condom that you see at like a truck stop bathroom for 75 cents in the quarter machine.
Oh, is that right? It's a condom.
A condom designed with knobs, projections, etc.
Okay.
Oh, so it must be like a rib for her pleasure, but
Exactly.
knobbed for his.
Yeah, something like that.
So a French crawler is it looks like this,
I know the look of it. It has a bear claw kind of look to it.
but it's a circle and it's filled with air. Bear claw is a cake that is like filled with like
So is it a wait? What's that shape called?
circle.
No, there's a technical term for this.
Circle.
A ring. What is that? Starts with a T.
Oh, it's a Taurus
Yeah, is it a Taurus?
or something like that.
Oh, I don't know that term.
Yeah,
is
it
that
a
right?
Taurus?
Is that the right word? Yeah.
I don't know.
Very similar to that.
You know, I was talking incidentally with Harlan
Tuscus?
Williams about French crawlers recently, and they gave a great descriptor. It looks like a tractor wheel.
Yes, right. It's like they score it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if it's a mold or if it's the way it is. I actually would be interested in learning if you look that up.
Well,
but
what are you going with?
that's
What
my
do you-
favorite. No matter where I go,
You
whatever
get the French
donut place,
crawler.
French crawler is my favorite.
And that's CRULLER.
You'll have to look that up. I'm not good at spelling. But more specifically, a French crawler with a maple glaze. You eat one of those.
Oh, I see.
I
oh,
see.
okay. These guys. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of fluffy.
Yeah, sure.
But
And they're very airy.
They're airy and
Are
they're.
you going to look it up?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. You're not mic'd up, huh? Yeah. I
He
think
probably
that's
has a
miss.
button that he. Do you have a button to?
Yeah, I'm curious. Once you see it, if you recognize these donuts.
Yeah, I've never ordered.
Yeah, so people don't get these, and I think it's because people don't get these, as in understand. It is my favorite donut. So,
I would never get that.
well, now that you hear
Taurus. It is TORUS.
what is the definition?
It's just a donut. It's like you have a cylinder. A torus is a cylinder that is, it's a donut.
Gotcha. So it's a 3D
It's
object.
just the name of that
Cheerios are a Taurus. Taurus.
It's also what people say in London when they're a tourist.
shit.
Yeah,
Cheerio.
that's true. Yeah.
There they are. Look at those bad boys.
Oh my
Beautiful.
goodness. That one on the far right.
Well,
That maple
I've
glaze.
definitely
So-
had them with. I've had them with the frosting on them.
Is it just the shape that makes them different from a regular donut?
No, it's very airy inside. Not like a croissant, but if I were forced to compare it to another baked good, the way you open a croissant is
Flaky.
Yeah.
But it's a soft.
No, it's not
a soft,
flaky.
It's a soft flaky.
It's not flaky. Are you familiar with the term laminating when it comes to pastries?
There's layers of it.
It's dough, butter. They keep you layer it when you roll it, and when you bake a croissant, it is flaky. I'm not talking about the flaky. I'm talking about when you break it open. There's like air in it. It's like it looks like there's spider webs inside. It's like it's not quite filled, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we know what an airy pastry is.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, because you guys are just staring at me like I'm chopped liver over here.
Well,
No.
I'll give
love
it.
it.
I'll give it a shot.
I'm
sometime,
on board.
You know?
I've eaten them.
I'll give it a
Will you
shot.
pull
sometime.
up
Brent's
Brent's
the one that doesn't get it.
inside? See if we can
Well, it's
see
not that I get it. I don't really like
See if we
donuts.
can
Is
get
the
a look.
thing. I'm not really into donuts,
Donuts
or
are-
I don't like
yeah,
fried.
donuts are
I don't really
like
like
that shot.
deep.
Let me
I
get
don't
a
like
picture of
really fried stuff for the most part. I guess I like French fries, but I don't really like the fried stuff so much. But I will give it a shot sometime.
Will you guys look to camera?
Wait, which one? That one? I smiled.
Oh, you wanted me to smile?
No. I like this picture.
That's a cute picture.
Maybe I'll post that on my Instagram.
Well, we should wrap up the. Can you stick around for the unzipped a little bit?
You don't have to. You can
I like how
be,
he ended the show in the same way.
or not. Yeah, you should have not even made a noise. You know, just hey, you did what you did. You know.
That would have been good.
Plug. Okay, everyone, check out Rick's super successful, great production value podcast called
Best
"Take Your
produced
Shoes
podcast.
Off."
Yeah.
And where else would you like to plug your social media?
Everything's Rick Glassman. TikTok,
Rick
Instagram,
Glassman.
YouTube. It's all Rick Glassman.
It's all Rick Glassman.
Yeah. But,
We're going to go unzipped and
I
we're going to
guess-
find out what's under the hood.
right. Well,
Yeah, what do you got to promote?
I also wanted to, because I said I would, I'm just going to say again, I'm watching Boston Legal right now.
Oh, yes.
I'm also
Thank you
going
for
to plug
circling
that.
back to that.
James Spader, William Shatner, Candace Bergen.
It's good?
It's great. Yeah, it's really great. And we might talk about it a little bit more on Unzipped. You'll have to go to patreon.com/
Poundcast.
check that out. But thank you guys for having me. I'd be happy to stick around. I actually have some really crazy secrets I want to tell you guys, which I'm not quite sure how much I should, but I'll tell you some crazy stuff. But if you guys want to check that out, head on over to patreon.com/ Poundcast.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna get deep in his secrets, and I can't wait to see what he's got under the hood.
Oh, there's actually something really cool I'll tell you about right now. Title card.
Wait. We want to say thank you real quick. We want to say
Hold.
thank you to Aaron Brunkart behind the boards there, and we want to thank Jack Birch and patreon.com/ Poundcast. We'll see you there.
Let me get a picture.
And you're gonna say
Where you're smiling.
And you were gonna say something really interesting, which is
Title card.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends, and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.